Okay, hello everyone in Facebook land. Welcome to the fourth trimester Arizona East Valley Village gathering for the month of July. I'm so glad that each of you are tuning in. My name is Jennifer Hoprich and I'm the East Valley Village Facilitator, East Valley Lead. And I'm here every month on the third Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. to share with you new topics. We're always focusing on fourth trimester hacks. So ways to make your fourth trimester easier so that you can feel more supported. Fourth Trimester Arizona was established to honor and support parents as they navigate the very real challenges and joys of parenthood and to connect them with a community that embraces and supports them in parenting. We are the village into which Arizona families are born, and we aim to change the culture of parenting in our community so that no one has to do this alone. In our village, families are loved, they are seen as capable, and they belong. This is our time to be here for Arizona families, so thank you so much for joining us. So, with our East Valley Village, we always begin our village on a Zoom call. And so right now we have several people who are on our Zoom call as well. And you, if you're watching on Facebook Live, if you're watching the video, check it out. We have events that are set for each month, and you're always welcome to join onto our Zoom call as well. Anyone is welcome to be on our Zoom call. So if you'd like to be on live next time, join us. You just need to register online. It's super easy. And when you register, you just go on to fourth trimester Arizona.org, and then go to For Parents, click on Villages, and then you'll see all of our villages. We have at least one village every week. Some weeks we have more than one village. We have a village for Spanish speakers. We have East Valley Village, which is this one, Central Valley, Tucson, West Valley, which is starting back up again in September, and we have our Black Mamas Village, which is exclusively for those who identify as Black Mamas, so it's a really special space to be in. So we have a village for everyone. We would love to have you at any and all of them. So for today, we're going to be diving into a self-care modality. So each village that we get together, we have a different topic, a different theme. And for today, we're going to be exploring something called ASMR, and that's an acronym. And I just want to read it. I want to make sure I say it correctly. It stands for autonomous, like the autonomic nervous system, autonomous, sensory, meridian, response, ASMR. And ASMR, this is from Wikipedia, it's a tingling sensation that usually begins at the scalp and moves down the back of the neck and the upper spine. And I want to preface this by saying that I am not an expert in ASMR, but I am a person who has personally used ASMR to help with nervous system regulation and sleep. And I've worked with lots of people who also use it. And why this topic came up was that we actually have a therapist who had presented at one of our conferences. And we were asking for topic ideas and stuff. And she actually presented this as something that she thought would be good for us to explore, because we're always interested in how can we bring self-care modalities to people where it's 3 in the morning, and they're exhausted and maybe they're nursing their baby. So something that can actually be supportive for them in that moment. And so ASMR is something that is free because there are literally millions of ASMR videos that have sounds, images. We'll of course be diving into all of this in more detail, but all of these things that are designed to elicit this relaxation response in the body. And so, we had somebody earlier who was on our Zoom call who was talking about how she watches these through TikTok. They're on Instagram, they're on Facebook. Like I said, YouTube, we're going to be looking at a few YouTube videos. So all of these are free resources that you can access. It's also possible for you to elicit the ASMR response in your own body. So we'll talk a little bit about how we can do that for ourselves, and also to elicit that in our children and for each other. So I'm going to be showing, one of the videos that I'll show you is like two women, and a lot of the stuff that you see in these ASMR videos are things that many of us did when we were little girls, to each other, like braiding each other's hair, you know, doing like tickles down each other's back. Like, I don't know if any of you remember, there was like the crack an egg on your head and the yolk runs down, and like that kind of thing. That's totally ASMR. Those types of things that we were doing, definitely ASMR, just helping us to relax. So as I said, we're going to be looking at a few videos and just talking about it, but those who are on our Zoom call, they might be chiming in as well, because we have a few people on there who are experienced listeners of ASMR, who might be chiming in too. So I think maybe what we can do is just, I want to show you some of the ASMR triggers. And so when we say a trigger, the idea, you know, usually when we talk about triggers, it's kind of a bad thing. We're like, you're triggering me. But with ASMR, these triggers are just stimuli that cause that tingling relaxation response. And, you know, not everybody responds. Not everybody really gets those tingles. Some people get it a lot, some people get it a little. So you may find that you have a varied response with this. But I just recently got gifted this mic. I don't know if I'll have to put it on. It's a huge mic. But it's like a podcast mic. And I looked it up to see, I wonder if there's people who do ASMR videos who use this mic. And sure enough, there was like tutorials on how to use this mic to do ASMR. So I thought, well, I'll just demo a couple of things on here just for fun. So one that I really like is like tapping on things. So this is just like a piece of wood. Actually, it's a little sound healing thing, but sorry. But I really like the sound of fingernails on wood. So I'm gonna show this one to you, and just so you can, if you want to, you can keep your eyes open or you can close your eyes, but just see. And with ASMR, a lot of times the people will suggest putting headphones in. So if you don't have them, you can, or if you have them, you can put them in. If you don't, that's no problem. But you can see it's just very, this is really simple stuff. It's just very relaxing. And here's some glass. ASMR response often will get triggered when we hear rain. For some of us, when we hear rain falling, we can have that. Jenny says she likes the glass. Yeah, I like the glass a lot. This is a tambourine, but some people like the sounds of like scratching. So we'll see what you think of this. How does that sound? To me, that almost sounds like thunder or something. I don't know, like just like the clouds rumbling. So that's just a taste of it. So there are ASMR people who that's their whole thing, where they make these videos. They get all these, you know, microphones that are really specific for. Jenny said that was really weird. That one. Also, like whispers is like an ASMR thing. So, like hearing really relaxing whispers that are meant to that kind of thing. Any tingles with that? This is my first time trying ASMR.
Yes, yes, Jen, I think you are actually probably pretty good at this.
Nice, sweet. Okay. So that's just a little taste. But I'm gonna share my screen so we can see some professionals that are doing this. Oh, you love the whispers? Yeah, I know. So, um, so when people begin to get into ASMR, they can become kind of like connoisseurs for it. And you'll find that there are YouTubers and, of course, people on TikTok and all the social media as well who specialize in certain types of ASMR triggers. So it might be whispers or crinkling paper, or we'll go through them. So I'm going to share my screen. So yeah, like yeah, Amber's saying like I love the whispers, but I don't like when they talk softly. Yeah, exactly. You kind of get like your little niche of, what works really well for you. Beautiful. Okay, we have someone else who just joined. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go on to YouTube, and we're going to get to listen to some professionals do this. And I'm going to share with you different types of these ASMR triggers. Okay. Okay, so bear with me. Oh, where's my notes? There we go. Okay, here we go. All right, so one of so old school ASMR that those of us who are over 35 maybe will already be familiar with.
The reality of living with
is Bob Ross. So Bob Ross was a painter, and he was on public television, and he would do these paintings, and it would be an hour-long program. And it just so happens that within this program there are all of these beautiful ASMR triggers. So I'm gonna play this. Here we have Bob Ross. I'm just gonna
that you use this painting only as a guide and add your own ideas to it. We each see nature through different eyes, and your painting should reflect your visions, your personality. Devote some time to practice and become familiar with each piece of equipment. And very soon, you too will experience the joy of painting.
So you can see he's kind of whispering. It's very relaxed. His whole vibe is very relaxed. And then we're going to get to hear an ASMR trigger here in just a minute when he does some painting on the canvas here. So let me just go up to here. He's showing his tools.
Okay. Also, another thing that will help you, because if you've watched the television series, you know I beat the brush against the leg of the easel. Even coat of the liquid white. So we'll just dip the old 2-inch brush right into the liquid white, about like so, and we can go right up here and begin covering the canvas. All we're looking for is just a nice, thin, even coat. Just really work it in. Just cover the canvas with it. Just cover the entire canvas. Probably the most common mistake made is applying too much of the liquid white. All you want is just enough to cover the entire canvas. If you think you may have a little too much liquid white, one of the easiest ways to make sure, clean and dry your brush.
So you can see that with ASMR, part of what we're doing here is mindfulness. So part of why this is also relaxing is that it's bringing you into the present moment. And as you watch a video like this, there's nothing that's concerning. He's talking about painting and different colors that you can use and different textures. So it's relaxing because there's nothing that we're really invested in with it. There's nothing that causes any, negative emotions to arise. It's very neutral. There's a lot of just equanimity that is brought into this experience. And the whispers, the sound of the paint on the canvas, this is one of the types of ASMR triggers, is just listening to people talk about things that are just not stimulating. It's very relaxing. So people will play things like this, Bob Ross, and fall asleep to it because it's kind of hard to explain, you know, but if you watch the whole thing, you will become kind of mesmerized by it. And so that's one reason why it can help people to fall asleep and just, you kind of just forget about all the external things that are going on for you. I actually was almost a little bit late to this call today because I was reviewing these and I was kind of getting lost in them because of that. So Bob Ross is like classic ASMR. Okay, so we're going to go into a different type
Marcus,
of
you're the only one left.
ASMR.
Eliminate the
So this one is looking, it's a similar concept. This is someone who just narrates things about local parks, things like that. And then she has some imagery from some local parks. So just have a listen.
Hello,
She has a
dear
beautiful
friends.
accent.
Good evening. Such a beautiful, beautiful evening. And it is very, very beautiful, isn't it? And the other day, recently, every day in the afternoon, I try to go out to have a walk. Usually, it's around the neighborhood. Around the neighborhood in the vicinity of around 10 minutes drive, a couple of miles away. And so the other day I went to Shoreline Park, and this is not a park. I went to, maybe this is the park. No, this is not the park. But that is not so important. It is beautiful in any case. So I went to a natural place near the Bay Area, and we live in.
So you can hear just again the kind of like whispers, what she's talking about, going to a park, you know, just seeing beautiful nature. You can see how you can get a bit mesmerized by this. This is a different modality I'm going to look at now with ASMR. The one thing, you can find ASMR videos in many different languages, and this one is in Espanol, and it's beautiful. And so for those of us who don't speak Spanish, sometimes actually listening to ASMR in a different language can be very relaxing also, because we're hearing someone talking, it's relaxing. We're not getting stimulated. You know, we're not having our own thoughts or fears or worries getting stimulated by what they're saying because we don't understand what they're saying. But we know that they're being gentle with their voice, they're gentle in what they're saying. This one is also including some, in the very beginning here, you hear the little clicking like that. That's also an ASMR trigger. And then what we're going to see later on is that this is, she's actually doing a facial for the viewer. And so this type of ASMR is one where there's personal attention. So it's a type of ASMR, is personal attention ASMR. And you know, for so many of us, you know, there was isolation that we've experienced over the last couple of years. And these videos got very popular during the pandemic, the time that, you know, people were needing to be isolated in their homes. But it's still really relaxing now as well to get this personal attention. So so we'll just kind of see what she does here. So in the beginning, I wanted you to hear the little clicking.
Hola, claro que sí pasa. Me encanta que estés aquí de vuelta. Eso significa que te gusta el trabajo de
on, she's going to do some different ASMR triggers. One that people really like is actually seeing hands do this. This is a visual ASMR trigger, is just like slowly doing your hand, and then like also listening to hands making sounds. And I know all this, when you talk about it, it's like, what? This is so off the wall, but it can be super relaxing. So I'm just gonna play that part for you. She's also doing some mouth sounds, another ASMR trigger. Oh, a little ad came up. I'm sorry about that. Let me just make it through this ad here. But yeah, so the mouth sounds can be another trigger for people that they can really enjoy. So there's so many different types of sounds. So also crinkles. The crinkling sound can be a trigger for ASMR, so that's what she's going to be doing.
Tu cabeza y entonces la mascarilla nos haga mejor efecto, ¿ok? Muy bien, ahí está perfecto.
And then spraying, water sounds.
Mezclamos. Ok, está fresquito y huele súper rico. Ahora vamos a aplicar el vaporcito. Puedes mantener tus ojitos cerrados si quieres, que no se siente muy bien en los ojos, aparte como es calientito. Ok, relájate.
Having a focal point. So a lot of ASMR videos will either use a pen light for this, or in this case she's using, I don't actually know what this is. I don't get facials. Now I want one. But it's something that has like this little mist that comes out of it. And so it brings your attention to this thing. And so the single point of attention is actually part of what we're doing when we're meditating, is having a single point of focus.
Relájate, 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 relájate. Relájate, 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 relájate.
And she's doing some mouth sounds there too. And then I wanted to show you, oh gosh, it's just such a beautiful video of the, okay, this is, actually, sorry, this video is, it's a really great one for if you want to try a few different ASMR triggers. This ASMR artist, she has almost 2 million subscribers to her YouTube channel, and this one, you know, this particular video was released on May 9th, and it's got 1.3 million views. So it's very popular. ASMR is a real thing, very popular. But she goes through different types of triggers. This is a
How
fun
much
video.
time do you normally sleep?
So she's, this is, right now, she's doing like a little interview process, like what you would experience if you went to the doctor or, you know, to a healthcare practitioner. And that is that individual attention. That's one of the different subsects of ASMR, is receiving individualized attention like this. So she's asking questions about, like, how was your sleep? What's been going on with you? Yeah, individualized attention. And then she has a really good, yeah, so you can see here more of the hand. This is visual triggers.
So I can just keep focusing on my hand. My hands. And my voice. Okay. Don't think about anything else. Just concentrate on right now, right at the moment. That is very, very important for sleep, sleep, sleep.
So you can see again, she's bringing in the mindfulness to this practice, bringing yourself here. All of these things are calming to the nervous system. So this is a great one because she goes through, there's lots of different ones. Crinkling, the brush. This is a common one that you see using a brush.
I'm just going to touch your face with this. Just like that.
And I mentioned earlier that we have the ability to elicit this tingling ASMR response in our own bodies. And this is one of the ways that we can do that. I just realized I forgot my brush in the other room, but I have a brush that I have like a yoga mat, and I have some crystals and stuff like that in my room, and I sit there to do a morning practice. And one of the things I have now since learning about ASMR and using it is I have a makeup brush, and it's not for putting makeup on, but I use it to just, slowly brush over my face, the back of my neck, and I get those relaxing tingles. And it's a great thing to have on hand if you're in a stressful moment or something like that. You can keep one in your purse and just use that, to just help yourself to calm down. It's very relaxing. So that's one way that you can elicit that response in yourself. I wanted to make sure to mention that. And then I love this one.
Aloe vera, the only birth control.
This one is so beautiful. I love this because it's so people actually also offer ASMR in person. It's pretty popular in Japan. I don't know if there's anywhere here locally that you can have this done, but there are people who do this where you go in and they do this for you. So they'll do the light touch, on your back, on your arms. They'll do the makeup brush. They'll do like Q-tips, in the ears slowly. They'll mess with your hair, braid your hair. You're gonna see on here there's like what's it called? It's like I'll show it to you when it's on here, but they use tools and techniques and also the whispering and all of that to elicit that for someone in person. So I wanted to bring this video because these are not modalities that you need to be certified in or an expert in to be able to do for your friends or for your family. So I wanted to show some techniques and things that you can do. She does do some massage in here of the shoulders, but again, if you're doing this for friends and family, of course you can offer that to them too.
Today, my friend Brooke is joining us for a really relaxing, soft touch ASMR session. I'm first going to start off with this head massager.
know about you, but it's so relaxing to watch someone being taken such good care of. And so these tools are also excellent for eliciting the ASMR response in your own body for yourself. So I have one of these too that's by my yoga mat, and I can just do that for myself, and I close my eyes, and it's so relaxing. And then of course you can offer this to your children or to other family members or even friends, you know. And yeah, it takes no experience and can really aid with relaxation. And then here, she's brought in the makeup brush.
Going around her neck, sweeping back and forth.
Doesn't that look so relaxing? So beautiful. And then she does a little massage in there, and then she's using a different brush. It's like a paintbrush.
Using it as a tingly back tracing tool. Starting at her collarbone, her neck, pushing up her jawline.
She mentioned back tracing, and that can be very relaxing too, something that you can do for someone else, and then they can do that for you. And you might have also done this when you were a little girl, like writing things on your friend's back, you know, like I love, and then they're trying to guess what it is that you're writing. And that can be very relaxing. And then also just the effleurage or light touch massage, where you have, you know, like your fingernails or the tips of your fingers, just lightly, you know, doing the little, some people call it tickling your back. Some of us may have had this done to us by our moms, or maybe you do this to your babies or your children, and it can feel really good still as an adult to have that. Let's see. And then
now that her hair is rehydrated with water, I'm going to add this hair serum from Trader Joe's. It's the shea butter and coconut oil serum.
just taking good care of her hair. You know, I don't know about you, but I love going to get my hair done just because of that personal attention. It feels so good to have someone else who's taking care of my hair. So she's just putting like a serum in there. She put some moisture, just some water in there earlier. Now she's doing a massage with, let's see, what's this one? I think this is a detangler brush. Yes, so this brush is a detangler brush, but people call it a tingler brush because in the ASMR world, because it will elicit that tingle relaxation response. So that's what she's using on her skin, actually. And she has, I think this is a jade comb, and the jade comb can feel really good on the scalp. It actually stimulates more hair growth and stuff, and you can hear the sound of it.
Applying pressure in these areas, points of acupuncture.
She just mentioned there's points of, like, acupuncture points that are being stimulated
Really good for
this jade comb.
releasing headache tension, migraines.
Okay. Just gonna read some of the comments here. So people are saying Bob Ross was awesome. It's a bit hypnotic. Okay, I'm getting triggers from her voice. And then Jenny was saying, I wonder if this is why I like the rainstorm sound CDs as a child. Yeah, definitely. And then Amber Rose is saying, I started with listening to rain and waves and then stumbled across ASMR on YouTube. Yes, so yeah, you can definitely find videos, I mean, and of course on all like, music stations, you can find rain, waves. A lot of us probably use that for our children to help them to fall asleep. Amber Rose says, this is probably the most relaxed I've ever been on a Zoom call. And she loves ASMR latte, or latte ASMR, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so she was talking about how you can get YouTube Premium, and if you do that, then none of the videos will be interrupted by ads. So, yes. Jenny was saying, also great for kids with sensory issues. My kids keep trying to steal my makeup brushes. Yes, beautiful. And then Amber Rose says, I'd pay someone to play with my hair for an hour a day. Yes, I would too. Definitely. Okay. Oh, so beautiful. So relaxing. Okay, and then I have just one more that I wanted to show you. And this is one of my
When you shop at Walmart.
one of my favorite ASMR artists, and she brings some humor in to her videos, which I really like. She's super popular. Her name is Gibby ASMR. She has 4.3 million subscribers to her YouTube channel. And this video is one of her most popular videos. And she has 44 million views on this video. And one thing that's cool about YouTube is that now, I think you can see my screen, you can actually see that there's segments in here. So for instance, this one, she has like dentist. Again, this is the subsect of ASMR, which would be like personal attention, personal care. So she's got, some people may not want dentist. I didn't want to have that one that we would show, but there's like sleep clinic one, ear exam. And this one's a cool one, the ear exam, because she uses a tuning fork. And I really like that sound too. But yeah, you can see this is very popular.
Higher or lower? Here's the next beep. Is it higher or lower? Okay, now repeat back to what I'm saying.
This is an ear
Surgery is for
exam.
your ears? Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do is take a look in your ears using this light. I'm going to go ahead and look at this ear, look at this ear, look at this ear. Okay, doesn't seem like there is much going on in here that should be of concern. We should schedule you for a little bit of an ear cleaning, but that's about it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and look in the other ear. Okay, this ear is looking about the same. Maybe an ear cleaning would do you well, but that's about it. It looks healthy, looks normal, looks pretty much perfect. Okay, great. Your ears look awesome. I'm going to go ahead and take this tuning fork here. I'm going to hit it with my little mallet. I want you to close your eyes and tell me what side of your head this is on. Ready? Close your eyes and very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay, perfect. Now I want you to repeat back to me the words I'm saying to you. Playground. Perfect. Cat. Perfect. Neighborhood. Perfect. School. Awesome. I'm going to put these on your head right here. I'm going to put these headphones right over your ears. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, as you tell me whether the beep sounds higher or lower. So here's the first beep. Here's the next beep. Is it higher or lower? Okay, here's the next beep. Is it higher or lower? Here's the next beep. Is it higher or lower? Okay, now repeat back to what I'm saying to you. She went to the ball. Awesome. He played on a basketball team. Very good. She loved tuna noodles. Oh, that was a silly one. All right, well, you're here.
So yeah, I don't know about you, but when I have gone to get hearing checked or my eyes checked, with parts of those experiences of the exams, I've definitely gotten ASMR tingles from that. So she was playing off of some of that right there too. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take us off of screen sharing so we can just chat a little bit. So how was that for you? Did any of you get some tingles from that? what type of ASMR triggers do you like? Anything you'd like to share? I'd love to hear what's come up for you.
I was waiting for others to talk because I feel like I've been blowing up the chat box. But I really enjoyed all the videos that you shared. I usually don't go outside of my normal ASMR YouTubers just because I don't know if it's loyalty or sometimes when I do listen.
Sorry about that.
Sometimes when I do listen to other videos, they're a little bit intense, like that last video. To me, I just felt like that was a little intense and I probably wouldn't be as relaxed. I probably will get triggers, but yeah, I usually mainly listen to a few. I know there's a ton of ASMR YouTube videos, and more recently I found them on like Apple Music, or yeah, Apple Music. Of course, you can't listen to these while you're driving, or at least it's not advised. Yeah, I do get triggers from many different things. There are some things that I don't get triggers, like again, the soft voices. Usually I don't, but that first video you shared, I was getting triggers from the soft voice of that woman. So that was really nice. Again, I need to kind of venture out of my normal YouTube videos that I'm used to. Or some other things were oh, I had some points that I should have written them down, but I didn't. But yeah, that's all I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So you were saying that normally the thing that works really well for you is like the whispers. And is it more like just the auditory stimulus for you that seems to work the best?
Yeah. I like myself, I like whispers, tapping, my daughter and I though, we like the food ASMR. So when they eat food, she loves honeybee ASMR. That's all we watch when she wants to watch ASMR together. And it really does relax her and calms her down, which she normally can do that on her own anyways, but I think this is just like next level like calming for her. So
That's awesome. And so the one that you guys are watching is Honeybee?
yeah.
ASMR?
Yes. And
Okay.
we did make our own ASMR video. It's so funny. We wanted to, it was during the pandemic. We had all the time on our hands. We just never shared. We wanted to share it with family on Facebook, but we never did. But I still go back to that video, just how much we loved ASMR that we wanted to like do our own video. We actually bought the food that we felt would be crunchy and create those triggers. So I really do stand by it. I think that's why I'm so excited for this call.
Wow, that is so beautiful. What an incredible bonding experience for you guys and the creativity that went into that too. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
experimenting and then having that you can come back to.
Hmm.
That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Oh
Hmm.
my gosh. Yeah, and it's so cool because we can elicit this response in ourselves or with our children, as well. And yeah, it's thank you for posting in there about how there is the option with YouTube where you can do the premium, and then that way you're not having to deal with any of the ads as well. So that could be a nice option too. Thank you for sharing all of that. Would you be willing to share, like, is this something that you mostly listen to with headphones on? Is this something that you usually are watching as well, or just listening to? Like, how, just, pragmatically, because it works so well for you and your family, how do you incorporate this in? Is it just at bedtime? How does this work the best?
Yeah, so my colleague Stacy and I were just talking about this earlier. I will listen to ASMR at the end of the day, like maybe an hour before I leave work, just to kind of wind down and So, but I won't watch it, of course, because I'm, busy on the computer, emailing and whatnot. I'll just listen to it, and it is calming. Um, when I do get home, though, if I want to take a short nap, I will watch and listen with headphones on. But if I just want to, again, like if I'm maybe cooking and I just want to listen to some calming things, triggering, um, I will listen, but not really watch. Or yeah, I will listen with headphones, but I won't really watch. And then also at bedtime, that's when me and my daughter will listen together. Um, I know it might be bad for baby or for children to be watching like a video before they go to sleep. But again, it does have that calming effect on her. And it does usually put her to sleep. So sometimes, I'll hear it coming from her room, somebody's eating in the background. It's funny though, because it doesn't work with my partner. He does not like it at all. So I have to wear headphones. But yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing all of that. It's nice to just talk about real life, like how can we actually incorporate this in? So that's so cool. Thank you. And then Stacy, would you be up for sharing? Like, are there, because you're mostly accessing these through TikTok. So are there certain people that you would recommend that people might follow or anything you'd like to share with that?
I don't follow anyone particularly, but if you do press the live button on TikTok, it automatically like when you watch it like at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, there's ASMR people that are just flooded the live stream, and you can just watch that like you can scroll and there's gonna be just ASMR people like doing ASMR things, all kinds of things. But then I think if you really search the topic for ASMR, you can find like a really good person to follow on there. But typically I just do that because I don't have the attention span to follow, or yeah. So I just do it on the whim, and whatever's on's on.
Awesome. That's so great. I didn't know about that you could just go on to TikTok and go on the live stream and you'll just get all these that are happening at
Yeah.
that time of day. That's so cool. Thank you for sharing that. Gabeta, I don't know if you're on here still. I'm curious your thoughts being a sound therapist about all of this.
I'm really excited about it. I love it because I can hear different parts of it. I use tuning forks, and it just shows me some different possibilities of using it and ways of having people experience things that perhaps clients who've been on the table have experienced just through the different sounds. Um, it reminds me of a lot of different parts of trainings that I've been to. The light touch, like using essential oils with light touch, for example, and stimulating the nervous system in that way. Also, I've done some performance pieces that have been just all different types of vocal sounds that are very soft and I've done affirmations for people, binaurally, like just going from ear to ear. So just the idea of taking something like that and being able to incorporate it in that way. Um, you know, Understanding like as a child getting my hair braided, that parting of the hair, the touch, the attention. So really understanding, parts of that, the triggers that I was experiencing from that as well that were healing. Yeah, even making arts and crafts with my mother, right? All the sounds and doing that, and even the sewing machine and just, things like that. So it's very, I love it. I think it's something that is very useful for people. And I think that it's also something that I could intentionally create in a different way. So, and then of course, I see myself doing pediatric, I usually do like a pediatric acupressure, like with children, but I like the idea of like maybe using brushes and other tactile things that they might, enjoy with light touch, and maybe using the meridian lines to be stimulated in that way. So yeah, I found it very interesting.
That is awesome. I love what you were bringing up about like the sewing machine and the arts and crafts. And yeah, there are ASMR videos that are arts and crafts. That's like a subsect of this where people are making an art project and they're whispering and you're hearing the like I've seen origami with this for ASMR, and you're hearing the crinkling and the soft voice and just being fully present, immersed in the moment, and seeing this thing take form, over time, and bringing in that mindfulness. And yeah, and I think, yeah, like we got that when we were children. We were able to be focused, more on things. Um, and yeah, just slowing things down, and yeah, it's so beautiful. And I love what you're saying also about the affirmations with the ASMR triggers, because yes, like when we're getting that stimulus, and our nervous system is regulating and balancing because of the ASMR trigger, what a beautiful opening and an opportunity to be whispering in, that those
Yeah.
affirmations, like to go right into the subconscious, like that's going to
Yeah.
be open. Like, wow, that's brilliant. Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it.
It is so cool to study these things and to know that, we do have the power to take good care of ourselves and to to support our own nervous system through these things. Without this, none of this costs any money. We don't have to go anywhere to do it. Um, and yeah, we can really do this for ourselves and for our children. And um, for me, I feel like when I was talking to the therapist who had originally recommended this, um, I was saying, I don't know, like I kind of have a hard time talking about ASMR to people because it's like these things are just so simple, or I even feel like a little embarrassed of like, like I don't know, enjoying things that are not meant or designed specifically for this purpose. But I'm like, I deserve it. I deserve to be able to relax and to have this childlike wonder and to be in that place of peace and equanimity. And it's fun to explore and to give ourselves permission to just try these things out. So thank you all so much for being on this call. And if you have any specific links for videos that you love, we would love for you to share that. So on this video, which will automatically be posted onto Fourth Trimester AZ, you can put the links in the comments there. That would be amazing. You can also put the links here in the chat if you're on the Zoom call, if there's some videos that you think other people might really enjoy connecting with, and we can share that. I'm going to take us off of Facebook Live now. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you. So next month, I'm really excited because we're going to be doing something totally different, actually, but really beautiful. Our focus is on postpartum hacks. How can we make the postpartum time the most supported and the most beautiful and joyful possible? So next month, we actually have a therapist who will be on to help us in setting healthy boundaries around our fourth trimester, which can be with our family members, friends, like who's going to be coming over when and what are they going to be doing. And, it can be very challenging sometimes when you're starting your own family to be making decisions about what's best for your family, for your children, if there's disagreements with, moms or mother-in-laws or friends or all of that. So it's going to be a really beneficial conversation. I think it's going to make a difference for everyone. So even for those of us who are not in the fourth trimester, because I don't know about you, but I can always use some extra practice with healthy boundary setting. So please tune in next month. Let me get that date for you. We're always on the third Thursday from 10 to 11:30. So next month, it's going to be on August 18th, 10 to 11:30 a.m. So thanks, everyone. If you're on Zoom, stay with us. We're going to pop off and be able to just wrap up. And otherwise, if you're on live, it's so great to see you. Or if you're watching the recording, thank you for watching. Please comment and please come back. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can view stream. Oh, maybe I can't turn it off from Facebook Live. Oh, here we go. Pause record. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, stop recording. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, oh my gosh, thank you everyone. Thank you for sharing. Anyone have any last thoughts, ideas, questions? No. Well, this has been a really fun exploration. I really appreciate each and every one of you being on here. Please come back. Please share about this. Everything that Fourth Trimester Arizona does is free. It's a nonprofit here, so please share. I'm gonna put in the chat here our upcoming circles, our villages, and the link for registration. So we would love to see you more. Here's all the upcoming villages. This link that I just put in here is how you can register, and it's super easy. We ask for almost no information. It's just your name and your email address. And then you can register, and there'll be a link that'll be automatically sent to you. So we would love to have your connection, and each and every one of you has contributed your unique beauty and magic to this conversation. So thank you for being here. It wouldn't have been the same without you. And it's wonderful to get to meet all of the new people on here. Thank you for joining in. And the mamas who've been here before, I appreciate you coming back. So I will see you guys next month, Thursday, August 18th. Spread the word. Thank you for everything. Stephanie says, thank you so much for the relaxing video. You did a great job. Oh, thank you. It was actually relaxing just listening to you speak. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm also a hypnotherapist. I have training in that and a meditation teacher. So it feels really good to get that feedback that's been relaxing for you too. So, okay. All right, y'all. Thanks again. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Sending out lots of love. Thanks for all
Thank you,
you have.
Jen.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye, ladies.
Bye.